Series 21 with the Task Rat, episode 2 and 3. Yeah. I'm looking at all my streaming settings because I've got monitors and I've got screens and I've got a keyboard and a mouse and I'm doing stuff. Okay. I have YouTube Studio open. This is all still mostly new stuff to me. And I did remember, I think there's one thing I can improve the stream, but I think I missed that option earlier. Yeah. Actually, yeah, okay. Also needed to make sure that I've got my, need to make sure I've got my audio. So, anybody out there, I'm going to wait a couple minutes and then start talking about the Task Rat stats. And I've got a stack of them. That's what this is. And I'm going to scroll through it, the stack, and we're going to look at it. And that's going to be brilliant. We're going to love that. Okay? Oh! I've actually been in previous series, like since series 15 or so. I've been doing my own statistics, but I want to make it look a bit more pristine, a bit clearer. Not pristine, that's not the right word. Presentable. Because right now it's just black and white. Maybe I can get some color in here, some color coding, and I did try the Taskmaster font, which is veteran typewriter, but it made the stats kind of messy at certain points, so I'm just using a plain font. Uh-huh. Let me check on other stuff. There we go. I can see live chat, but it is so small. Dang, I'm going to have to fix that. I'm probably going to be leaning into my screen a lot today. Natural Habitat streamed again today. That was cool. Furry Foodie. Oh, nice. Oh, is that Rocky? Is that Rocky Melon? That would make sense. Nice. And with your second comment, you stole the number 1 crown away from Ben the Squirrel. Keep it up. Fight. Okay, so now that a couple folks are here, let's talk about stats. Oh, what did I do first? Oh, yes, here's what I did first. I'm gonna have to figure out a method for what I want to talk about and when, but I'm just gonna scroll through where everything is right now, which is the top thing is my extra points that I'm giving out to viewers. All right. It's not very much. Like, compared to what I'm giving the contestants, these are going to be very low scores, even by episode 10. But Ben's winning so far, and Nico will probably be here later. I saw at 9:29, he sent me a message saying if we started at 9:30 or something else. It's like, it's 9:29. Like, I'm here. I can't do anything. I'm not gonna look at that. But like it popped up. It's like I'm not gonna answer. You'll figure it out. And form of squirrel. No, that's. Hang on. It says Ben Steph and then form of squirrel. Did you just change the name? It's still you, right? Pretty sure. Okay, up. No, you're number one. All right. We're gonna keep doing this. Gonna keep talking about it every single time you talk. All right, next. So, for episode 1, where is? Oops. There we go. I'm trying to show just one episode at a time, but I don't know if that will work. Okay. Here are my scores compared to Greg's scores for the 2 first episodes. And these are the differences because Greg always posts, always awards so many more points than I do. And this 8 is huge. All right. I've got, I have another spreadsheet just on my computer, not online, but I'm basing this off of. And that has a color code, which I haven't added to this yet. But like the maximum in my color code is 7, because that's like the most I figured we'd be differing by. So yeah, this is gonna be a very dark red. Or yeah. So for some reason, yeah, I have to look really close to see if there's negatives. These 3 have negatives. I am treating Joel and Kumail a bit better than Greg has been treating them. And to some degree, I do want to go back on some of the points I gave Kumail, but I can't because I already awarded them. There are a couple points that I want to take back. But for some reason, I don't like Joanna. I'm not giving her points. I don't know. That's an 11-point difference. I mean, that's 9 points with Armando, too. So, anyway, here. The full series score so far, so episode 1 is the same, but as of second episode, wow, we're really tight. I am so excited to see how everyone except Armando, apparently, how everyone is going to fare and who wins. But over here in the UK, it's really just a 2-way race already. I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, first place, Joanna is almost double that of Kumail after 2 episodes. That's kind of scary. Last series, last series, a couple, like even halfway through the series, I found that Greg and my scores were really evening out to be about the same. So it's like, what's even the point of me doing it if Greg's actually doing it okay this time? But here we definitely disagree. Okay. We've already talked about episode 1. So episode 2 starts with the prize task most unquestionable thing of beauty. And yeah, at the last minute, I gave Kumail 5 points for that. I was only going to do 3. That's because I saw the painting the wrong way. I thought it was like clipped together with those safety pins, but I didn't see that at first. I don't know. It was on a smaller screen. I thought that was like a katana. I really did. Like, I thought there was the ghostly boy and a sword, and that looked really cool to me. And I would argue that's beautiful. It's not unquestionably beautiful, but anyway, I didn't even see it right. So, at the last second, when I was scoring him, I decided I didn't want to give the 5 to Joel because I didn't want to give 5 to a painting of a human. But if I had realized that I was seeing Kumail's wrong, I would not have changed that. So, okay, fine. I like Kumail a lot, but I am overcompensating. I am that's not the right word. I'm talking too fast. I am overscoring him. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Where Alex's bowling outfit. That's fine. That was a fun task. Mirror Alex. Again, Greg and I had some big differences in scores. I don't know how he thinks Armando got 5 points. Hmm. Armando was on the podcast. He was on that, and hang on. He was on the podcast, and we got some more information about, well, I mean, all the tasks. But on that one, he said for the mirror task, he was imagining himself being shot out of a cannon. And then that happened 3 times, and he got more exhausted after each one. And that's kind of a cool idea. But I didn't even realize that he was getting more exhausted each time. It seemed like essentially the same thing 3 times in a row. And even another reactor I watched was confused. I was confused too, seeing it as are they just replaying that footage? No, it is new footage that looks the same. Yeah. But I had such a good idea for that. So I know what I would do. And it starts with that cannon throwing, falling, shooting thing. So I'm stealing that. But I imagined it as he was diving out of the way of a grenade or something. So after that, he'd go up to the mirror and try to shoot the guy. And then they both shoot themselves or each other and do that. And then they realize what they've done because it's a mirror. And they go, I'd love to see this action here, pounding your fists against the mirror in anger. They'll be really cool doing that to each other. And then they die or something. That would be a story. You could make this mirror task an anti-war film. That would definitely give you some points. So I liked the start of Armando's, and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be really good, and then it just stopped. Or just the goodness, the excitingness stopped. It stopped being exciting. Okay. Okay. I'll take a short break here to drink. I think I've basically said what I want to say about the other attempts already. Again, for that one, maybe no. I don't think I scored Kumail. I gave him 4. No, is that the mirror? Yeah, I'd switch him and Amy after seeing it again. So okay, fine. His painting wasn't that good, and he wasn't really mirroring. He was mirroring Alex slightly after Alex did it. So that's not great, but I still would have given him 3 points because I love the idea, and there were only a couple mistakes. And it was ambitious because he doesn't really know how to paint. So it had a bunch of things going for it. Just definitely imperfect compared to a couple of the other ones. Okay. Achieve the most things on this list. Yeah, that was fine. That was exciting. It was fun listening to phone calls, eavesdropping on those. Work out the word from the bagpipes. Okay. You know what? I didn't really talk about the bowling task. I can do that later. But the bagpipes task. I have not watched the video, but I have seen they have uploaded the full unedited. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's edited, but the full bagpipe task, which is 18 minutes long. And I did read like Quickly's comment somewhere that said, in the version we watched, they just did best of two, but the original task was the best to three, or the first to three, first to get 3 words. And apparently everybody got one more word correct than was shown. So even Kumail and Joel, who, Kumail and Armando, what? And Joanna, Kumail and Joanna, who did not get any that we saw, actually did get one. Then Armando and Joel got 2, and then Amy got 3. So it's basically the same, but yeah, I do kind of want to watch that. And after the episode, I shared another video about music words you can make, and that was fun. But that was super easy for me. Although, if you watch the reaction, I said all those words like immediately. But some of you in the chat were also saying the words really quickly. So if we had been on a series together, that would have been a fierce fight to get those words first. I bet Alex probably had wanted to do this task for a long while, but he needed to wait for a series that didn't have musicians. So I wonder if we're going to have any musical tasks. I mean, besides this, but like any music making tasks, for instance. That'll be interesting. Okay. Bowling task. I don't think I have anything new to say about the bowling task other than that was fun to watch. That was a really good one. So I guess that's why I skipped it there. I don't have anything else to say. That's cool. Uh-huh. I believe that's the end. I'll scroll back to there's the viewer points for all of you, and there's the series scores. So yeah, I am giving both Joel and Kumail more points than Greg has given, which is rare for me to do. We'll see how that continues. Meanwhile, I'm not treating the girls very nicely compared to Greg. I don't know. I think definitely some of the points he's given for, especially prize tasks, we've disagreed on. I'm not specifically trying to boost Kumail, and well, I want to keep Joanna from winning. But actually, in my series, she's tied with Amy, so really I should be against both of them if I'm doing that. But which I'm not doing. I'm not doing it. I'm being fair as much as I can. And poor Armando, he's besides Kumail, who's my favorite. I'd say Armando is my second favorite contestant here. In terms of entertainment value, I'm really vibing with him. but unfortunately for him, that is not transferring into points. Okay. In Greg's version, he's actually the best out of those three so far. Barely. But yeah, there's a big gap between the girls and boys. Oh, okay. One thing I didn't talk about last time is the Fantasy League. The Fantasy Taskmaster quiz thing where you predict things that are going to happen in each episode, and then you get points if you're right. After 2 episodes, I have 10 points, which seems to be right in the middle of the pack. So I would think I would be doing better. The first episode, I got 6 points, that felt decent. Last episode 2, was kind of crazy because there's like 12 to 15, there's like 10 to 12 questions. There's a couple more, but those are like series long questions that you can change. For instance, like, who do you think's going to win? And you could change it every episode, but you get fewer points the further along you are. But like, out of 10 or 12 questions, I only got 1 correct last week, which is crazy. But it was the final question, or maybe I don't know if it was the first or last or whatever, but it was the who do you think is going to win this episode, which gave me 4 points. So it was the most worthy question of the week, which means if I only get 1 question a week, I guess that was a good one to get. I got 4 points somehow. But man, I really want to get more of. I really want to do better. And I think there are some other hints. Like if I go to the Taskmaster fandom thing and see, for instance, it will give you a snapshot from the next episode. So it's showing screenshots for episodes 3, 4, and 5 right now. Well, I guess 3 is out now, but with that might help. I don't know when episode 3 came out, the screenshot, but if I had seen that earlier, that would have helped for one of the questions for episode 1. So I don't know how early it was out. Anyway, we also have like titles for the next episode and stuff. And I see episode 5 has the team of 3 in it. So if you'd seen that earlier, you would know who the teams are. But I don't think they were showing that yet. So anyway, but I do think there are a couple clues that you can use. Okay. I'm looking at YouTube. There's 2 people are watching, maybe, but then the other thing says, I don't know, concurrent viewers 4. I don't know. I want bigger numbers. There, now it says 3 are watching. Okay, it got bigger. I don't know. How is that? How does that work? I'm figuring out how a lot of this works or doesn't work. And I realized just a moment ago that I never fixed some skunk funk. Is that a skunk I know? Is that Ponty, maybe? Or no? Okay, well, the stream's about to end because we're going to go over to Ratreon and watch the episode. Watch the next episode, because I can't do that over on YouTube. I can't do that here on YouTube. But yeah, that is exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping folks would see this on YouTube and then follow me over there. So it does require a little bit of work on your part. Um, but I mean, there's a link in the description, and I think I made the description way too long, and it's going to be hard to find the link. But it's there somewhere. Okay. I think I had one more thing I wanted to say before we switch over. This will be a good one to end with. Ah, yes. Yeah, Ponty. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, I saw him. And you're leaving. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. Another of the questions in the Fantasy League, they do stuff like, do you think there will be a task in the lab this week? Or do you think which of the things in the opening montage do you think we're going to see this week? And it gives you like 5 or 6 options. Or who is going to say the episode title, which is something I do anyway. Well, I mean, I make up new titles based on who I want to, based on what I think works. But yeah, last week they were asking who's going to say leg up Johnny. And that was a hard one because first you have to figure out just who is Johnny. And what I thought was like any of the contestants could be doing some sort of skit or something where they're calling someone Johnny, or one of the contestants is Johnny. So that did not help much at all. I only had one clear bit of info to go on, and that was if it's one of the contestants, it can't be Kumail because he is a non-Johnny. Okay, and with that, we are going to move on to Ratrion. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. Just need to take a couple minutes to switch over, but the link is in the description. And we're gonna go. Do I need to do anything else? I don't think so. Okay, yep, I'm just gonna quit. Squeak you later.